Hi guys, so I wanted to do a catch up about, can you hear Gucci? Okay, so I wanted to do a catch up about how am I getting on. Please excuse the state of me. I'm aware how bad I'm looking these days, that things are, my weight is increasing without any seemingly obvious way of stopping it. I need to get off the steroids badly, but you know, that's, I mean, even on the steroids and even on the new drugs, most of this is actually swelling. I know it's hard to imagine. I mean, people just see it, there was my knee crack. I mean, I am obviously not getting on very well. I've had shingles recently, and I had the 2 infusions, 22nd of February and the 8th of March, of rituximab. I've been on methotrexate since I think the beginning of the year, at a lower dose than I was on before. My joints are crazy swollen, so I leant down on my hand a minute ago and it all swelled up here, and my neck and shoulders are so stiff at the moment because I went shopping. I went shopping to get some clothes for me and the kids. We had to go in the wheelchair with my mum's help, which was quite an experience, but it needed to be done, and it really has put me on my backside. I had a couple of days over the last sort of week or so where I had 3 or 4 days where my ankle wasn't as swollen. I was quite excited by that. I was sort of touching wood and, oh my god, I think I might be seeing an improvement in my symptoms. And, you know, I was scared to tell people, because people tend to think, if you say that you're having a good day, people tend to think, right, you're cured now, let's get out and go and do everything that we were supposed to be doing, you know what I mean? And it doesn't work that way with RA. And it doesn't work that way with a lot of chronic diseases, and I've got several of them. My breathing's been quite bad. My heart seems to be more of an issue at the moment, like, I feel inside myself. Like, and my oximeter, pulse oximeter readings are that if I move about at the moment, my pulse is dangerously high, and it's not coming down below 100 when I sit down. I keep getting a lot of like oxygen related issues. Very dry mouth, very closed up throat. I've had an anaphylactic shock reaction since I last updated you all, and that was very interesting. I wasn't sure if I was going to tell the story of it because it was a bit out of the blue, and it's not really anything related to, well, I assume it's not related to my health conditions. It was just, but I've been on, I took flucloxacillin, the antibiotic, and now I've been on that med several times, although it was from a different manufacturer. So, and I will be seeing an allergist in July, at the end of July, to find out what was going on with that. But then yesterday, I went to the hospital to have my blood tests, and I stood outside my front door talking to a lady for about 10 minutes with my mum. And this has happened to me before, but I didn't know what it was then, and I didn't know how ill I was then either. When I was first on methotrexate, that I had a severe allergic reaction to the sun, and it appears that yesterday I also had a allergic reaction, just like the anaphylactic shock reaction. It started on my hands, they went all red and started swelling up, and it started spreading up my arms and my face, and I felt like I had needles all under my skin and was very hot and flushed. and thank God I had antihistamines on hand. But it seemed to have been from the sun. I hadn't took any medication, I hadn't eaten anything or drank anything, so there wasn't anything that I could have said like I've had an allergic reaction to this, like when I took the antibiotic. Within 2 minutes of taking the antibiotics, this was a couple of weeks ago now, I took this antibiotic, and luckily my son's best friend was here. Thank God for Ryan, bless his heart, he's a lovely boy, lovely young man, sorry. He was here, and thank God got an ambulance to me, but the anaphylactic shock was I took the tablet, then I immediately felt a heat coming up over me. I started doing this and I was like, whew. I went and splashed my face with cold water and felt like I was going to collapse, and I knew something was seriously wrong. By this time my hands were all red and raging and swelling up, and my whole body was actually like it. And I was in here and my throat was all closed up inside, I couldn't breathe. Oh my God, it was so scary, very, very scary. But I've never had that happen to me before, nor have I ever seen anyone have that happen to them before. And for all the medical issues that I've got going on and all the treatments, and I'm quite used to medical emergency situations. I'm quite used to my lungs going down and knowing that I need medical treatment immediately. There's a lot of times where I know I need help. There's a lot of times where I don't ask for help when I do need it, which is my biggest problem, it seems. I've got to stop holding back, because I am struggling, and I'm not telling people that I'm struggling as much. I feel like I've got to just crack on and get on with it a lot. Excuse me. The weight issue's killing me. I really am not happy at the moment with my weight. I really had a lot of hope for this infusion, to the point that I was willing to take this methotrexate, which has poisoned my lungs before, just to be able to get on this drug. It wasn't a very pleasant experience going through the infusion, and I can't say that there's been any real benefit at all. I had 3 days where I was like, oh, my ankle's not so swollen today. And now I've got another 2 months to wait before I get my next infusion, or my next block of infusions. I'm going to go ahead with that, and I hope to God, please God, if you're listening to me, we need this. We need something to work now, It's been long enough. I've learned my lesson. I just want a little bit of mobility back, please. I mean, I know what I've got going on, and I know that I've got to look after my lungs. And to be honest, the increased mobility on those 3 days that I had, less swelling, I of course ran around trying to do things. I noticed my lungs struggling a lot more because of the movement being more. I was more comfortable with moving about, so the movement was making my lungs worse and my pulse worse as well. So I don't know where that's going to go in the future if I do get any mobility back, but I can't help but want the mobility back, or like just a little bit of mobility back. I'm not asking to be out going, like doing everything normal people do. I accept that that's not happening now, but I do desperately need, at the moment, right, I can't do my own hair. I'm sitting here and my necklace is cutting off my throat because it's all swollen at the back here. I mean, if you feel the back of my neck, it's gross, yeah? That's all lumpy under the surface. And it's all swelling, same as in my hands. Like, it goes all bulgy, swelling in between all the joints. And it's red in every bit. It's red, hurts, yeah? If you can see every red area of my body, and I've got them all over. Like burst veins and stuff like this, burst blood vessels and that. are like a beacon of my pain. If you can see a burst blood vessel on, like, my ankle's got like 2 areas where it's all burst and there's all capillaries going everywhere, and it rages sometimes. Now they're like beacons of my pain. If you can see it, then it hurts. And this is the hard thing at the moment, is that I'm spending a lot of my energy and effort into not discussing this. Not discussing all of it at all, really, because I don't know what to discuss anymore. Like, I'm coming to talk on here about it more because there's other people out there going through the same thing and I want them to get my story. But in my reality, I now have not talked much about my diseases and what's going on with my lungs and that, because of the fact that I don't want my children to be distressed by it. And because people got bored of hearing it. It was kind of heartbreaking, but people were fed up with hearing me going on about my medical issues. And, you know, a lot of people think a lot of negative things about that. I'm not going to get into that whole bullshit anyway. It's not a competition. I don't want to be like this. No one would choose to live like this. There isn't any attention gained from it, so let's leave that to one side. But back to my actual medical issues going on right now, is that I'm not getting any relief from the rituximab as now, or methotrexate, whatever. Maybe something was starting to work. Maybe I'm coming down with something, and that's why I'm not getting, like, or flaring, so I'm not getting to notice that there should be some benefit. At the moment, I should be in the point where all of my B cells are dead. Like, because this is what my rheumatologist said last time I spoke to her, was that it takes about 3 months from the infusion for it to kill off all your B cells, and that's when it should be at its most powerful as such, like in fighting the arthritis, in fighting the rheumatoid disease, sorry. Well, I don't know what it's doing to me, but I assume that that is why I'm getting, like, the shingles and that, because my immune system is now as compromised as it can be, which I wouldn't mind so much, but I would like to see, as I say, the mobility. If I move, basically all my body is cracking and creaking and screaming at me at the moment, which is sucky because I want to do stuff, you know. I don't want to just sit there waiting to feel better. I haven't got time for that anymore. I want to be able to do stuff. I want to get up and go, be able to go swimming with my kids and that. But that can't happen until I'm at least getting some benefit from something. My mum said that the next time, if this next infusion doesn't work, we need to ask for the etanercept Enbrel injections back, because I did get some benefit from that. Okay, it wasn't a full remission, but it's the only thing that has actually given me any benefit at all. And at the moment, I'm like, I need to be able to move again. I need to be able to get off the steroids and get my weight back down, because that in itself is a disablement for me. And please don't get on at me about my weight. I'm very conscious of it. I'm not doing anything to cause it. It is a lot of swelling and a lot of steroids. I've had a massive amount of steroids, and even with the steroids, I'm still not getting mobility or reduction in inflammation at all. In fact, sometimes I think the steroids seem to make it worse. But my doctors won't have none of that. There ain't no coming off of the steroids with them until I'm showing benefits. So I'm on a lot of painkillers at the moment, massive amounts. Then they don't really even touch the surface, do they? I suppose it's all you rheumatoid patients out there that will understand that, or even the lupis and the fibro warriors, you know. Chronic pain is not fun to live with, is it? I wish they could make something to make this better, because it seems like a lot of these drugs are very, very expensive and very, very heavy duty on the body, considering the fact that I know so many people that would say the same, that they're not getting any benefits from the drugs. But I'm still stupid enough to carry on wanting one that does work, because nothing else is working and I'm desperate. But that is where I'm at right now. In 2 months' time I will have the second infusion, and I will hopefully take you along for the ride with that. Currently I'm still housebound, pretty much bedbound this week. But if I do get out and about, it's wheelchair at the moment, which, yeah, my 13-year-old son pushed me around the shopping centre the other day, and that was, oh, he's such a little legend, you know, he'd do anything for me, that boy. He's a real little sweet soul. Very grateful to have him, and Mum, of course, always helpful. And beautiful Gracie just makes my world a prettier place. But a little bit more mobility would be lovely. Hopefully one day, maybe. I will let you know as we go. Best of luck to all of you out there that are fighting your own battles. If only if you want to ever message me, please do. I'd be more than happy to hear from any of you. Much love. Breathe easy, folks. I'll see you again soon.